chopping it with Mittens, joking about his name is so fly. Mittens, cause he whipping, don't you get it, but that stove's hot, hot. Now let this be a lesson, professor. He handling and hitting his possession. Ooh, what you cooking, what you cooking? Scalding hot beats was blow up before it's cooking. Ooh, I know you're looking true. I'm out attacking with this beat, I'm a lady man. I'm really trying to date it out. What's the number trying to call out? What about my team? Wood, shout they don't get logged out. Made by Bethesda, the only way we fall out. Morocco, you a mole. Find another hole to crawl out. Hey, I'm sick of squirrel with the biggest girl. Slay sister, case get up. I think you're stripping, girl.
I don't think it's new to anybody that Phil has an unhealthy obsession at times with wealth and prominence and all the things that has to entail. He's not willing to work for any of it, but he assumes that he should have all of it. Let's talk about it. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News 2nd Edition. I am your host, and welcome to the GOUT Report. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with a video made by LD. You guys have seen him on the channel before, or some of his videos, I should say. I'll leave the link of it down in the description. Let's see here. DSP tries it, bragging all about the money, materialism, victimization, and Plutolatry. This is from May 20th of 2014. So, yeah, that's a thing. I would assume this is probably just before the move that him and Panda made. So that should be interesting. Anyway, you guys know what Phil is about his money and whatnot, or about other people's money that he believes is his money. So his obsession with wealth and just money in general it is what it is. But I still say, and I firmly hold on to this, that he will overlook money for his own ego at times. So, it's tit for tat. Any case, let's just go ahead and cut right into it. I think this will be a good video and whatnot. Should be fun to watch and or listen to in general, really. And that'll be the crutch of our day, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the GOUT Report. This is DSP News 2nd Edition. Don't forget your Snortbucks. Here we go. All about the money.
Now let this be a lesson, professor. He handling and hitting his possession. Ooh, what you cooking, what you cooking? Scalding hot beats was blow up before it's cooking. Ooh, I know you're looking true. I'm out attacking with this beat, I'm a lady man. I'm really trying to date it out. What's the number trying to call out? What about my team? Wood, shout they don't get logged out. Made by Bethesda, the only way we fall out. Morocco, you a mole. Find another hole to crawl out. Hey, I'm sick of squirrel with the biggest girl. Slay sister, case get up. I think you're stripping,
Okay,
girl.
what is up, everybody? Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first stream in about a week.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with LD. DSP tries it, bragging all about the money, materialism, victimization, and Plutolatry. This is from May 20th of 2014. The link to the original video will be down in the description. Here we go.
Thank you for being patient over the past week. Even though there was for several days on DSP Gaming, there has not been any new content. Welcome to tonight's stream, which should be great. I'm very excited. First of all, this pre-stream is probably going to be one of the most controversial pre-streams ever for all the dumbest reasons. Because very simple, I'm going to address something that has just come up and give you my honest feelings about it, as you know I always do. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the status of my move to the state of Washington, which is in process right now. It is officially in motion. We had some big developments over the past several days that I want to let you guys know about. Okay? And, a lot of stuff to talk about in the pre-stream. So I'm warning you right now, if you're on the pre-stream, it's going to be about 20 minutes long. The weekend preview is probably not starting to around 7:30 p.m., which is about 20 minutes from now. Then we're going to do the weekend preview, okay? And then after the weekend preview, I'm going to switch over, get everything switched over to the PS4, and we're going to do a pretty decently long stream of MLB 14 The Show, which I'm really much enjoying this game quite a lot. Okay, and definitely having a lot of fun with it, and I'm craving it. I have not played it now in a week, and I'm actually craving the game. So it's going to be great to be able to jump back into the game and have more fun with it as a way to reintroduce myself into the content. Okay, very good. All right, so let us very first up front. This is the pre-stream, as I said. I'm going to start with the positive. Okay, then we'll go a little bit into the negative, and then we'll get into the weekend preview. So first of all, the positive is all the great stuff that's going on right now with my move to Washington. If you guys are hearing ambient noise, I think someone mentioned it in the chat, they hear like this noise. It's my air conditioner. For those of you who have not watched my content for extended periods of time, you probably wouldn't understand that I do have an air conditioner right here in the living room next to me that will pick up on the mic. And so you guys are going to hear this for the next month or so. While I'm still in Connecticut, it's going to get hot. I'm going to have the air conditioners on. You're going to hear them ambient in the background. I apologize for that, everyone. There's no way for me to really get around that. It's just going to be, okay? But anyway, getting back on topic. My move to Washington. We've got tons of positive stuff going on right now. First of all, I got the confirmation over the weekend that we are good to go. We are closing this week. By the end of this week, I will be the owner of a beautiful new townhouse / condo in Washington State. So it is dead set. There's nothing that could fuck this up at this point. Really, seriously. In fact, the final step right now that I need to do is to sign some paperwork tomorrow. There's actually going to be a notary coming by to my condo here in Connecticut during my break. As you guys know, I take a break between, say, 7 to 9 p.m. usually. And they're going to be coming by during this break. I'm just going to be sitting here eating a TV dinner, I guess. And they're going to be notarizing documents, escrow documents that are being overnighted to me. I'm going to sign them in front of them. They're going to take those documents with them, and that's it. That's the last step that I need to do. And then finally, when this thing closes on, I think it's supposed to be Thursday, they're going to send me more digital documents to sign. I'll sign them. And as of then, I will be the homeowner of a home in Washington. Okay? So there you go. That's great positive news.
Great
also,
positive news. We are on a declining income, right? Because it's, popularity and everything has gone to shit. And that he wouldn't change with the times. He wouldn't update his content, whatever. So we have a declining income. We have we have a detractor. We have a hate base, I should say, a hate base that is growing by the day. You have taken shots at other content creators that really never did anything to you, so they're already throwing shade at you. And you have a condo that you're currently living in that you even barely paid shit on. There are so many red flags in that last year of him in Connecticut before they made that move to Washington that anybody, ladies and gentlemen, in the realm of common sense and rationality would be like, you know what, we can't make this move right now because we can't afford it. To be honest. But in the piggy sphere, if you will, because of self-induced pignosis, we can do this. We're doing it now. We're just gonna go ahead and go. Fuck it. It'll get better as we get over there. Starting a new life is one thing. But for you jumping into a declining situation, into another situation that you clearly couldn't afford, and ended up biting you in the ass 6 years later, tells the story. But let's go ahead and laugh and dissect his hopes and dreams and whatnot, because we all know what the reality is now in 2020 hindsight.
Long this line of discussion I have over the past several days, along with my girlfriend Leanna, who helped me tremendously, so I want to say thank you to her, started packing some of the things in the condo, including all of my models and statues are now back into their original boxes of packaging and ready to ship. Some I determined, unfortunately, I don't have the boxes anymore, like the Gears of War 3 statue, the infamous 2 statue of Cole, the Connor statue from Assassin's Creed 3, the Batman Arkham City Collector's Edition statue of Batman, and also the giant dragon from Skyrim. I don't have the original packaging for anymore, as well as the Tesla coil lamp that I have over here from Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. So unfortunately, those are going to have to be makeshift. I'm going to have to try to package those up. But boy, does the condo look different now that all those models are gone from the countertop. It was funny because I walked into the kitchen today and I looked at it. I can actually see my girlfriend on the couch. I can actually reach across this countertop and hand her something. We can actually use the countertop. In fact, I have like notes. I was taking notes earlier today. I can actually use the countertop for things now.
It was a win that a hoarder could use an aspect of his condo for some type of functionality that he couldn't use it before because he cluttered his space with bullshit. The same bullshit that was supposed to be redesigning his condo and giving it some flair and giving it some life, but it had no real functionality to it. Now all of a sudden, Leanna doesn't have to walk all the way around the counter anymore or the bar. I can actually pass her something. Or, well, really, I'm sure he really meant that she could pass him something. But you know what I mean. When hoarders come to the realization that, oh shit, if I had just organized all this better, and I threw away the nonsense I didn't need, life could have been so much easier. It's funny how people don't realize that until after they move out, or they declutter themselves.
So the place looks incredibly different, and I already had the discussion with Leanna that when all this stuff, all these models or whatever, move to Washington, that they are not going to be cluttering our living space anymore, that we actually have a side room off of our master bedroom that's called a den, that really, we can't really fit much in there. And I'm thinking the den may become the room where all this stuff is on display.
That den, ladies and gentlemen, is what he refers to as the nook now.
Where I might have some shelving, some, bookcases and stuff that we'll put in there, and we can have these models out on display in there. But they're not going to spill out all over the place anymore. Okay?
And as we know, that didn't happen. They all sat in their boxes as he tried desperately to try to peddle them off, broken statues, most of them, to his fan base of wheelchair symbols. So we all know how that all played out.
So what else? Today, I made a few calls to see what my options would be for moving. Now, what I mean is actual physical moving of my stuff. And there are a bunch of different options. There's traditional movers who basically will take your stuff out of your place for you, put it into a truck. The truck, unfortunately, gets shared amongst other people who are moving across the country. Times can vary from how long it takes them to actually move your stuff across the country, and then they unload it for you eventually when they reach your house. The problem is, from what I've seen, not many of them are incredibly dependable when it comes to getting a definitive date when your stuff's going to arrive. And the bottom line is, I don't want to be sitting around in a house with nothing in it, like an asshole, not able to work, not able to do anything because I don't have my equipment, I don't have my furniture, I don't have anything.
Which is exactly what ended up happening anyway. Oh boy, they had to wait about when they got out there. They had to. I think I've done the video on this channel actually. They had to wait a week. I know I've done the video. It's when Phil and Phil and Panda's first stream from Washington. I know I've recorded it. It should have been up by now. But if you guys have watched that video, you know that Phil didn't get their stuff for like over a week. It was like over a week until they finally got all their stuff. So that happened anyway. He couldn't even he didn't even avoid it. Didn't even try to avoid it. The first one or two results that he saw, he just went with it. Yikes.
I don't know if traditional movers are going to work in the case of what we're looking to do, especially because, keep in mind, Leanna lives in Pennsylvania, I live in Connecticut, so logistically, how do we get two sets of stuff to be shipped across the country? So I made a call today to a company called Pods. This was recommended to me by several people, including my parents had heard of them, Leanna had heard of them, and a lot of you guys, the viewers, had heard of them and were recommending them. So the way Pods works is a little bit different than a typical moving company, okay? And the reason it's different is because the Pods will come, drop off this big modular moving, container, let you put your stuff in it yourself, then they drive it off to a storage facility where then they coordinate with their other storage facilities across the country to transport your stuff to coordinate in time with when you're actually going to be there. So if I'm not going to be in Washington for 2 to 3 days, they take those 2 to 3 days to get the stuff over to Washington State. When I arrive, the day that I'm there, I coordinate. That's when I want the pod to show up. It will be delivered then. The good thing about pods, they don't mix and match your stuff with other people's stuff. So there's no chance that, you got something that's not yours, or if they gave your stuff to someone else because they got it all fucking confused. Your stuff's not clanging against other people's stuff in the back of the truck and gets all destroyed in transit. Okay? So the bottom line is, pods seems to be an interesting way to go. And the cool thing about pods, I'd be able to get a pod delivered to Leanna's place in Pennsylvania. She loads her stuff in. She takes a train to visit me. In the meantime, the pods people come pick that pod up, drive it to Connecticut. So now we pack here for a day or two. They take it out of storage in Connecticut, deliver it here. We can put our stuff in there. Then they drive it across country, put it in storage until we're ready to accept delivery at the new place. So it seems like a really good option, okay? Now the one startling thing that a lot of you might, if you know pods, you might say, well, how are you going to do that? Because you have a bad back, and pods, you have to do it all yourself. You can't, they don't do it for you. They just deliver the pod, and it's your responsibility to get the stuff in. Well, guess what? There's actually another service related to pods. It's part of their business, but it's not part of the pods business, where they actually have movers show up, and they will pack all your stuff for you, including your television. They have a special television moving packaging box and special wraps for your mattress and your bed frame and your box spring and any kind of furniture. They have the responsibility to disassemble certain furniture and take it out with to the pod, and they do all this for you. So they do all the work, all the heavy lifting. All I need to do is basically get the loose shit packed up into boxes. They will take care of the major stuff, like my computer desk, my TV stand, my TV, my bed, my computer chairs, the end tables, the things that I have absolutely no way to take out myself because I can't move heavy shit. They're responsible to do.
And I think that's what he went with, except for I think they needed to move some of the stuff into that pod, though, I believe. Or John came by to help him pack, one of the two, and John took some of that stuff that they weren't going to need with him, like some of the stuff from like Project 7, some of those stuff, or some of the props that eventually he was hoping they were going to use for Project 7, and that never materialized. So I think the second option is what he went with, and that how Phil likes to be catered to. So it kind of makes sense that, they're going to come in and they'll pack up everything and they'll disassemble everything and they'll move everything and they'll wrap it all up. Phil's a very hands-off type of person, so kind of makes sense.
Okay. So I was thinking, this sounds good. And I could have take the stuff out of Connecticut and put it into the pod. Then when we get to Washington, they can unload the stuff, move it into the house where I need it. So I'm not lifting heavy shit, moving it upstairs, and I injure my back or anything like that. The one catch to all this, of course, is the price. Now, I already looked into other moving companies, and the prices ranged anywhere from $5,000 to upwards of $10,000 for a move like this.
Now, this is important. This is important. Because the mythos is, it cost me $10,000 for me and Panda to move across country. When in actuality, we'll get to that eventually. When we get into the WAkhando or the Snort fort, when we get to that walkthrough, he clearly says it cost about $4,000 and he had to put it on a credit card. But Phil already put out the number of $10,000 in this pre-stream. Or what is this? Or weekend no, this is a pre-stream, because then he said the weekend preview is going to follow this up. So he's already put it out there that it's going to cost him about $10,000. So I want you to kind of keep that in mind. But in the walkthrough, I'm pretty sure it's about $4,000 is what he said that he had to put on his credit card. And then with all the money they spent to furnish the house and all that, that came up to $10,000. But the move was about $4,000. About $4,000. If my memory serves me correctly on what I've seen. So keep that in mind. And also, and this is another little caveat that most people don't necessarily bring up, but I want to throw it out there because I've tried to emphasize it quite a bit on this channel, that Phil was still collecting donations. He was still getting donations behind the scenes through PayPal and so on and so forth. He had been since 2009. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that he did or he didn't, but I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. I wouldn't be surprised if he took donations to help with that move. Now, somewhere in my psyche, I feel like there's a video or there was a pre-stream or there was something out there where he asked for donations to help him move. Yet again, I have no proof of that. It may have never even happened. But for some strange reason, I feel like there's a pre-stream out there, or there's a weekend preview, or there is something prior to this video that we're watching right now, where he mentioned something about how, you know, it's going to cost so much to move, so on and so forth. So any support would be very much appreciated because this move is going to be very expensive. Something along those lines. I feel like it exists, but I don't know that it exists. So I wanted to put that disclaimer out now. But I feel like I've heard a snidbit somewhere before about it. But I haven't tracked down where yet.
I do them and I hire these people to do the moving as well, it's probably going to cost me about $7,500. I shit you not, it's that expensive to move across the country. And really honestly, after looking at all my options, I think this may be the best one. The fact that my stuff will not be shared in a van with other people's stuff, the fact that it could stay in storage if we're not ready to accept delivery, it may be the best option for us. And I'm thinking it may be what I go for. Okay. Unfortunately, there's just no other way to do it. There's just no other way to do it. The only other, I would have to literally sell all my shit here, move to Washington with nothing, and buy everything from new, which, guess what, is going to cost more than $7,500. Let me tell you.
Which he ended up kind of doing anyway. He didn't sell any of his shit. He took what he wanted, left everything else for the most part, and then bought all new shit when him and Panda got to Washington anyway. Womp womp.
I think it just has to be done. It has to be one of those things that during the move you have to bite the bullet. And even though you have to dig into your savings, you know, my savings, which I have a certain amount set aside that already are going to be dipped into with the down payment on the house, with this, the cost of the move, you know, these things are going to be dipped into significantly. And so I'm really hoping that coming up when I try to sell this place, this place in Connecticut, this condo, that I don't really get destroyed and have to dump a ton of money and lose a ton of money to pay off the mortgage because I can't find someone who'll buy it for a reasonable price, and I end up with a massive disparity between what I owe on the mortgage and what I'm making on the sale, and I lose all my savings. Worst case scenario, I completely spend all my savings this year. That would be pretty bad. Because then if any, God forbid, any emergency happens or something goes wrong, I have nothing to fall back on. And that's a horrible situation that I've been in before in my life. And it took me several years of doing this, you know, this internet thing to get myself out of that situation. The last thing I want to do is put myself into it. But we have to see what happens. Okay, so it is what it is. We'll see what happens with that. Also, it was kind of funny because, as you guys know, I did full Connecticut bucket list vlogs this past week, probably 30 to 40 videos, where Leanna and I basically went around doing the stuff that we love to do in Connecticut when she visits for the very first time.
Remember how he just said a minute ago about dipping into his savings and he doesn't really want to do it because he has a set amount put aside? Yet that bucket list, them going around to all these different eateries, buying all this different shit, so on and so forth. Think about the trip to Washington that they took to go and look for the house. They were out there for like 4 days or some shit, 4 or 5 days. All the money they spent out there. And also, just to give you guys some bit of a lore, a bit of DSP lore, because that's what you guys are here for, right? They were supposed to go to 2 other states. They were supposed to go out to Florida, and they were supposed to go out to Texas. Now, here's what I didn't actually know, and I ended up actually doing a little bit of research, and I found it. Phil and Panda actually went on vacation to Florida before, and they had actually gone to Texas for I don't know if it was too many games. There was some type of game convention or something that was going on, which is probably the reason why they didn't go back a second time, because they had already been there. They had a vacation in Florida. They were out there for like a week, I guess, and then they were out in Texas for like 3 or 4 days. So in actuality, Seattle was like the last place, which means that these guys have been planning, been planning this move for a while. for a little while, but they hadn't been dating that long. So this dude always had the plan of moving this chick up and out of Pennsylvania and moving her to either Florida, Texas, or Washington State. Yikes. Holy shit. He always had intention of ripping that girl away from her family.
See the places that I frequent in Connecticut, and a lot of people were like, whoa, I go there all the time, or oh, I've been there, that's cool that Phil does it too. And that was nice. Some people being complete idiots. Why is he eating out so much? I thought he needs to save money. Okay, so I went out and spent 50.
Why is it that he's spending all this money all crazy when he says he needs the money for the move? And then what needs to come after the move, meaning that he has to stock the house up, he has to furnish it, and all this, that. It's funny how that was a thing, huh?
$15 on dinner versus spending, what, $5 to $10 to make a meal at home, but it's the bucket list of Connecticut. That's the point of it, is that I'm enjoying these things for the last time. It's okay to splurge if it's the last time you're going to ever encounter it and experience it, right? When we moved to Washington...
He's probably making more money on the videos than he's letting on. Because it wasn't like we haven't caught him in discrepancies about that, right? Oh, I used to put out DSP tries-its, and I used to get like $300 or $400, $500 off those videos. Oh, those videos barely covered the meal. Or actually, a better example. Oh yeah, I used to make $300 or $400 off my DSP tries-its, man. Oh man, that's which is why he made so many. But oh, I barely made any money off of the Project 7 videos. DSP tries-its, 10,000, 15,000, maybe 20,000. Project 7, hundreds of thousands of views, barely made any money off them. That's a DSPism if I've ever heard of it. Piggy tard for sure.
That's when we're going to be making our own meals at home, cutting corners, trying to save money. Not when you're moving out of the place and you're saying goodbye to it.
Wait, it's cutting corners to make meals at home? With the woman who loves you and you love her and you're supposedly going to spend the rest of your lives with each other? It's cutting corners, cooking meals at home. The way you want, prepared and seasoned the way you want. I mean, that right there is just telling on Phil's personality, but okay. Cooking at home is cutting corners, guys. Stop being so goddamn broke. Yikes.
It was kind of the same thing, too. So very silly. Some of the comments I read on the videos that we took, there was 4 dresser bed sets that we were looking at a store, a furniture store, that we're looking at them here in Connecticut, but this furniture store also exists in Washington State. So we could basically buy it here and have it delivered there. And so there were 4 that we liked, that I videotaped, that we're thinking about getting. Of course, people are reading the prices. Those prices are ludicrous. You should be going to a secondhand thrift shop and buying old used stuff. And other people, you should go to IKEA. IKEA's stuff is cheap, and IKEA's stuff is great. And and I read the comments and I laugh hysterically, because it's quite obvious the people who are commenting are not in a situation like we are. We're in a situation where we're making a life-changing move across the country. We need to be set up in a situation where we have things that are going to be quality materials, that are going to last us a long time, not secondhand furniture that's going to break, or is it, already been used, it's on its last legs. Yeah, of course you can get that. If you're really penny pinching down to the penny and you need to do that, okay. And I'm not, by no means am I saying it's people that do that are in the wrong. They're not. But we're in a situation where we're trying to set up a house where we're going to be living for a long time. Our plans are to stay there for a while. We need to have a dresser I buy that I don't have to buy another dresser in 3 years because I bought a piece of crap from IKEA that, number one, I can't even figure out how to put together because you have to put it together yourself, and there's no goddamn words on the instruction, just weird diagrams of hands and shit on it. They're so fucking confusing.
The laziness is on another level. The laziness, ladies and gentlemen, is on another motherfucking level. You're telling me that you can't follow basic instructions, Mr. I worked for the helicopter company and I was put in charge of restructuring how to improve processes for the company, but you can't figure out how to put something together from IKEA? More importantly, you guys are just starting out, right? You're planning on living in that home together for years and years and years and years to come, right? Right. You're telling me having a starter dresser that might only cost you $50, $100, $150 is a bad thing compared to maybe getting something that's worth $700 to $1,000, and you don't necessarily know what the feel is yet. You don't know if you're gonna have enough space for it. You're not sure how it's gonna hold up in general if you decide to move a room around or move certain rooms around. Like, you don't need the best of the best just because you're trying to lay down roots. That people start off with what they can afford because they want to hold on to that money for what they may need later. You're going with what you want and then hoping you'll have enough for what you need later. More that DSPism. Let's keep watching.
No one without some kind of fucking technical design degree could figure out how to fucking put it together. And number two, that falls apart in a couple years anyway. No, we're not looking for that. We're looking for
that's
quality.
Certainly not true. Because I own a couple of pieces from IKEA, and they've held up for quite a while. So, I mean, yet again, you have to be willing to take care of your stuff. Phil doesn't do that. Phil does not give a shit about taking care of anything that he has. So, yeah, for him, it's probably going to fall apart in a couple of years. But then again, he spent money on some really nice stuff that fell apart in 2 or 3 years anyway. So, you had the money to buy quality, and you still fucked it up. Imagine that.
Stuff that's going to be there, so we start our own family. You know what I mean? No, I don't mean kids and stuff like that. I mean, you know, a family where it's her, me, a family unit, maybe some pets. You know, we need stuff that's going to be durable. It's going to be quality stuff, not that it falls apart.
Holy shit! So even back then in 2014, you had no inkling of wanting to have kids, and then your family. Oh well, none of the family like we had kids. He was quick to go ahead and make sure he was stamp that shit out. I mean, me and Kat. I'm sorry. Me and Panda. Sorry, Panda. Me and Panda and a couple animals. Wow. All right, kiddo. Holy shit. Woo! We jumping way into the future with this shit because I ain't said cat on this one. I think I said it in another video too. Yikes.
So, and also, one thing that I did not mention in those videos about the furniture is that the bed set is actually going to be a present from my parents. They're actually getting it for me as like a housewarming gift because I'm moving. So that was very nice of them. That's why they were actually with us, because they wanted to see the stuff that we were interested in. Because obviously if it was something that they couldn't afford or something that they didn't like, they weren't going to get it. But they did like those 4 things that we found at that particular furniture store. Okay?
Wait. If something that they couldn't afford or something they didn't like, but they're buying it for you, though. So it's really about what you like over what they like. And they can't afford it, then why would they offer to buy it? And more importantly, we know they could afford it because they ain't sat there and been supplementing your dumbass ever since you moved out of your house. Your family's house, I should say. Even while he was in Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, his parents were still helping him. And then when he moved to Washington, they were still sending him money either each week or each month. Each month, I think it was what it was. Like every month they were sending him like a stipend of some type. He was basically asking them for money every time he talked to them on Sunday. Holy shit. So it's not like they couldn't afford it.
Alright, so that is the deal with what's going on with all of our moving. Right now, I'm still in the process. We're supposed to close later this week. Once we close, now I own the place. Now I'm going to tell the real estate agent to go out there and actually do a walkthrough and see what this family left behind. Remember this family who was in Russia and supposedly Mother's Day weekend came back here in order to try to clean this place up and see, gee, what did they leave? What didn't they leave? Because if they left some stuff that's useful, that's great. If they left junk, that's a pain in the ass. And there's no way I can force them to take the junk. Outside of that, then I'm going to begin the process of talking with a real estate agent here in Connecticut. But theoretically,
Phil left junk in his condo too when he left. Oh well.
Of selling my condo here, but there's also other stuff I need to take care of. For example, Wednesday, I'm actually going for an eye exam. The first eye exam I've ever taken since I was in high school, because when I move to Washington State, I need to actually get a new driver's license for Washington State within 30 days of me living there, but they require you to take an eye exam, and I know for a fact that I cannot see far away distances very well. So I basically need to go to the eye doctor and get a prescription eyeglasses just to take this stupid eye exam, and then I'll never use the glasses again.
Holy shit!
Like
So well, holy shit! So you can't see at a distance. So you're gonna go and get an eye exam so you can get your license, and then you came to Washington and never used your glasses. You fucking tard. Jesus Christ. Fucking pig tard. Jesus Christ. Here's another thing too. If Panda knew that she was moving with you across country, right? Whole new place, starting all over. Why didn't Phil or Panda be like, hey, go ahead and get your stuff together and get your license squared away now? So then when we move across country, all they need to do is kind of just transfer it all over, and then we're good. Why didn't you have that girl try to get her license before you guys moved? Or at least have her study up on it, so then when you guys get there, then you could have had her just go ahead and just take the test for her license while you're getting your shit renewed. You could have done that all in the same week. Jesus, Phil. Wow.
I did in high school, okay? In addition to that, I got to trade in my car. My car is on a lease, but the lease doesn't expire till October. I'm trying to turn it in early, and from what I've talked with the people at the dealership, it looks like since I took such good care of the car, and because it has so few miles on it, in 2.5 years I've put less than 6,000 miles on the car, it looks like they may take it in without any penalties. So I'm going to ask you guys to be...
You had that car for 2 years. Alright, sorry about that. I'm going to have to make a cut there. So, wait a second. So, he's had that car for 2.5 years, has 6,000 miles on it, less than 6,000 miles on it, if you will, but never had an oil change done. Never had an oil change done. That's wild, ain't it? 2.5 years, 6,000 miles or less than 6,000 miles, and never had an oil change on that shit. And he's saying that the dealership saying he took such good care of it. And then you're probably wondering, well, wait a second, how is it that he has such low miles on it? Well, one, he's been working at home from home since like late 2010. And keep in mind, this is this is May of 2014, May 20th of 2014. That's the first thing. Secondly, whenever they went on vacation, they called in a tab or some type of luxury service to take them to and from the airport. Or if he was going to tournaments or whatnot, they never took his car across country. They would rent a car to go across country and so on and so forth. So, yet again, Phil, when people shit on you for having that BMW, you say, oh, it was an El Cheapo model and it wasn't that serious or whatever. No, you didn't utilize it. You never really used it, so you didn't need it. Or you certainly didn't need a BMW. You could have leased anything else within reason and gotten more out of it. And for less money. And then keep in mind, the real slap on Phil's fucking dumbass for this shit is the fact that he paid for this luxury package where like you can get the oils changed, you can have the car detailed, you can have them clean the engine for you, rotate tires, all that shit. Like it's this luxury package that they'll go to to the extra steps for you because it is a BMW. And he paid for that shit month in, month out, never utilized it either. In 2.5 years. He threw his money away on that bitch. Because he never went to get the car serviced. Because he never drove the damn thing. Or at least in his mind, he never drove the damn thing. Holy shit. It's amazing.
Again, over the next month. This is the final countdown until my move to Washington State. The very final countdown, okay? We're in the home stretch. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I may be late for streams. I may be have to taking phone calls. There's going to be stuff going on. And I hope that you guys will continue to be as understanding as you have been, okay? And I thank you for being as patient and as understanding as you have been. One more month, guys. One more month. And then in mid-June, I'll be able to move out there. Once I get my office set up, it's just things are going to get better and better, I promise you. But we need to get there first, okay? And I know this next month is insane. This week we've got 3 new releases. Next week we got 2 huge new releases. The week after that we got 2 huge new releases. I know, and E3, we're going to have so much stuff between now and my move. We're all going to be so busy, I know. But thank you very much for being patient, okay? Okay. Now, let's talk about the one thing, the negative thing, that I'm going to address. I promise you guys.
I just thought about this too, because yet again, I'm sure at this point it's already gone up. The Phil and Panda first stream from Washington, he took like a week or 2 off from YouTube. He didn't have anything uploaded, nothing at all. And here's the thing that I think I mentioned in that video. It was, I apologize, excuse me. The thing that I mentioned in that video was why this idiot didn't have videos stocked up. You know what I'm saying? So during that week or 2 weeks, however long it was before he could get back to making videos again and streaming, why didn't you have some videos stocked up to go out, so this way, you know what I'm saying, you have some steady content so you still have interest for the channel? You know what I mean? Like, just so there's, you know, so it kind of, so this way there's not a drought, if you will. Didn't do that, didn't think about that, and it suffered. So then he was working 3 times as hard, let's say 10 times hard. He was working 10 times harder when it was time to get back into position because he didn't have anything stashed away. And he said, what, 3 new releases, 2 new releases, 2 new releases, or he said 3, 3, 2, whatever. So we're talking about at least 7 new games. 7 new games that were coming out over the next 3 weeks. And he had no extra games, game videos that he could have stocked up for the time he was going to move and then the possible week or 2 afterwards. Wow. But we run a business though, right? And we're professionals, right? As well as being a valedictorian, right? Plus A certification, right? A certification.
This is the last time I'm going to address this because I'm tired of fucking repeating myself at this point. Okay? I'm done with it. Because the bottom line is this. Since last year, since Slow Beef and whoever the other guy is, the 2 guys that get together and they rich super rye people, okay? Since they made this video about me a year ago.
Oh yeah, I need to go over that. They actually did like a podcast that was dedicated strictly to Phil, and then someone clipped that to just a couple of different parts. I don't even know. I'd have to try to find that, but that might be funny to hear Slow Beef and his friend there go over that, because that shit was kind of hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, that might be a good look. If we can find it, that might be a good look.
Over a year ago now, about how bad I was at Metal Gear Solid 2. No shit, I said I was when I started the playthrough, so they completely missed the point. But anyway, they made this video, and I guess it wasn't bad intentioned, it was just meant to be funny. A parody video of me being bad at Metal Gear Solid 2. Now, they didn't ask me for permission to do it, they didn't explain what they were doing at the time, they just did it. And I got contacted by a bunch of fans telling me there's these guys making fun of you. So, of course, I reacted badly. Should I have reacted in the way that I did? No. If I had known the frame of reference that they had been doing this to people for years and years on end, and that it was kind of almost a rite of passing that they do this to every Let's Player on the internet, I probably wouldn't have reacted as I did. The problem is no one told me that. I saw the thing completely out of reference, didn't understand it. To me, it looked like it was something mean-spirited and malicious, and I reacted negatively to it. And ever since then, that was it. That opened the floodgates. Wow, you can make a funny video making fun of Phil and his gameplay, and immediately it can fucking make you become super popular. And everyone knows this. It's become the thing on YouTube for the past 1.5 years. Everyone's been doing it, okay? So, I've said publicly multiple times, do not, I repeat, do not tell me when someone makes a new one of these videos, when someone makes a challenge to me that I need to win the challenge. If I don't win the challenge, I gotta quit the internet for good because I'm a horrible gamer and I'm a pedophile and I'm this and I'm that. Don't tell me about any of that shit. Because I am not in high school. I graduated from high school in the year 2000.
I think he's referring to the main event video. When he challenged him, that's when, because main event used to really go hard at the FGC and some of the bullshit that was going on. And, yeah, I think that's when he made that challenge to Phil. And then there was a follow-up when a bunch of people tried to white knight for Phil, and then that's when the information came out about the shit with Panda. And, like, oh, man, because the video that basically said that Phil was a pedo, you can't find that video. That dude got rid of that. I think Main Event talks about it in his video, though. He may even have a clip of it. But, yeah, you can't find that original video as far as I know. Because I couldn't even really find that on Wayback Machine. I guess I could try again, though. But, yeah, like, you couldn't even... I think he's talking about the Main Event video, though. I think Main Event did, like, 3 of them in all. We're going to go over those, too. We're going to go over those, too. So, definitely stay locked in for that.
That was 14 fucking years ago. I don't need to know about this little stupid drama queen shit between people who are so fucking immature, saying shit about me or whatever. I told everyone, listen, I'm about making positive content, focusing on the positive, pushing forward positively. I don't care that there's hundreds of thousands of people out there who watched Kojima World Order montages about me, and they think it's the funniest fucking thing ever to make fun of someone who makes his living off the fucking internet. Right? So obviously I'm doing something right if this is how I'm making my living, but they don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about how they're so much better than me so they can stroke their giant e-dicks. And they want to take the, 24 times in the 30,000 plus videos that I've said something stupid, or I said something, I got baited by someone on Ask the King who gave me misinformation about a topic, so I said something dumb that obviously if I was informed on the subject I wouldn't have said something like that, but they take that, oh look, Phil's a hypocrite, Phil's an asshole, Phil insults people, Phil does this, he's that. I don't care about it anymore. I'm done. I'm at this point, I'm about to move to Washington State. I don't give a flaming fuck about any of it. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you fucking tweet me about it, if you email me about it, if you bother me about it, I'm just going to block you and never speak to you again. I don't care how long of time of a fan you've been. I can't put up with the shit anymore. I still, for how many months have I been saying, I don't care, don't tell, still, today. Phil, did you hear what Total Biscuit said about you? Oh my god, you name drop him, and he says that you should name drop him, and you should go see a therapist. And I put my hands on my face. I'm like, oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
Wait a second. So, keep in mind, if you guys keep up with current lore, that Nazi chat, his little Gestapo mods and shit, and his fucking little intelligence networks all over the place. They're in Detractor. They're on Detractor Twitter, or they at least follow people on Detractor Twitter. They're in some of those Detractors Discords. They're all over the place. And they feed him constant and consistent information. He used these people to try to take down videos, as well as other things. This dude right here is going to say, if you hear some shit about me, I don't want to hear it, and I don't care how long of a fan you've been. I don't care how long you frontlined for me. I don't give a shit about none of that. If you bring that up, I'm going to block you, and you're never going to come back. Geez, Phil, thank you for, geez, Phil, that's rather generous on how you would treat people who got you to where you're at. Or who put you where you're at, I should say. Just because they're concerned, and they may not watch all your bullshit, but they see something that's not, they feel is a bit disparaging, and they reach out to you, you're just going to block them outright. Jesus Christ, bro. And that's what I'm saying. You can't be nice to people like Phil. You certainly can't be nice to Phil. He's a garbage person. He always has been. He always will be. He is a has-been, certainly. But he always will be. You can't be nice to people like this. They don't give a fuck. They don't appreciate it. They don't care about it. And it's funny, too, because now he doesn't have nothing else. So the only thing that kind of keeps him in the loop with what's going on with the detractors is basically what people tell him. But in 2014, I don't want to hear nothing about that. I'm all about positive content. I don't give a shit about any of that. He says that same shit now, yet he's knee-deep in Kiwi Farms. You got people on Kiwi Farms who make posts directed at Phil, knowing that Phil's going to read it. And sometimes Phil references them, I should say. What the fuck, bruh? Jesus Christ, what an inconsiderate piece of garbage. Oh my God. But all for his comfort though, right? You know what I mean? All for what makes him, what makes him feel good and what is in line with what he wants at the time. Yeah, you're sitting here bringing up detractor shit, essentially, before it was actually detractor shit. Oh my God, because you haven't heard the word detractor yet. At least not so far in this broadcast. Oh my God. It's amazing. That's all I can say, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly, truly amazing. Oh, I wonder what it was like to be a detractor back in those days, before actually being called a detractor. Because he said slow beef, Kojima World Order's there. So, I mean, dude, this is literally ground zero. Like you're talking about the early fertilization of this whole situation. Jesus, man, that must have been an interesting time to be in. Oh well.
What way do I have to say it? Do I have to go to your house with a fucking brand and brand it on your fucking forehead? I don't care. I don't fucking care. I'm here to make fun, entertaining content. I am here to entertain you, and in turn, because I put a smile on your face, to make a living off of it. It's give and take. I don't care who the fuck approves, gives me their stamp of approval, or who gives me the big fucking middle finger. I don't give a fuck. Alright? Total Biscuit knows nothing about me or my content. What he knows is what people tell him. People have been sending him shit saying, did you hear that Phil wished you well because you announced you had cancer? Did you hear that Phil's been talking about you in his videos recently about how there's this big negativity on the internet, and that you came out publicly and you were affected by it, saying that you're only 29 years old, you have gray hair, and you have medical issues because of it? Did you hear that Phil's name dropping you? And literally this is how they approached him. And I read his response, and his response is basically completely misinformed. He basically thinks that, which is what everyone thinks, because this is what the Kojima World Order says, think that the King of Hate moniker is that because I like to hate on games, and that when I play games, it's a persona that I portray to be very negative and unfair to the game developers, and rip them a new asshole, and only blame the game and never take credit for my mistakes myself, despite the fact that I've explained 5,000 times how that works, but no one wants to hear it. They just want to focus on their own little private, stupid world version of what's going on, instead of the reality that I've explained, that the King of Hate has nothing to do with me hating on games at all. Nothing. It's not about me hating on anyone or being negative at all. It's about me owning the hate that people throw my way and turning it into a way to fuel myself to succeed. But no one wants to hear that. It goes in one ear and out the other.
Because it's not true. That's not true at all. There's an interview out there when he was at, I don't know if it was at Texas Showdown. I can't remember where he was at, but he has it was an interview he did with another dude, and he was talking about the King of Hate moniker, and he said, everybody thinks that, the King of Hate moniker is I just hate on people randomly and I hate on shit and so on and so forth, and that's all I do. But that's not the case. I only hate on people who hated on me first. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I only go after people who attack me first. Like, get the fuck out of here with that whole, I take the hatred that people give me and I ball it up and I use it to become a powerful person, which is a pathetic statement that he made at one time or another. Dude, the King of Hate moniker is exactly what it sounds like. He hates everything and everybody, and he should have just owned it, because it could have been profitable if he did. Jesus Christ, this dude had fucking hate like emboldened on his fucking merchandise. What the fuck do you think people are gonna think of that? Oh my God. Talk about people are misinformed. Who the fuck runs around calling themselves the King of Hate? Jesus Christ.
He's the King of Hates, but he can't take the hate, but he can hate. Fuck you. Seriously. If you can't take 5 seconds to find out what the moniker has been since day one, and you want to spew out stupid, misinformed bullshit, you're a fucking idiot. And that goes to anyone who's ever done it. I don't care if you're Total Biscuit or if you're anyone, okay? But the bottom line is Total Biscuit knows nothing about my content. If you read his response, he's completely off base. He says that I only play games to hate on them and to be negative, that every gameplay that I do is overly negative. What? Really? I wasn't aware that this was my persona. I wasn't aware that this is what I do, because it's not. That's not what it was. My content is a Joe Average guy playing games, having rage, frustration, and reactions to things naturally that anyone would have. And yes, I blame the game makers to some extent. Absolutely I do. But that's not the focus of my content, to sit there and say, this game sucks, the game maker's a piece of shit, the developer's an asshole. When did that ever become the focus of my content? Never.
It has been the focus of your content. Like, the rage is what the rage segments of your content are the ones that get the most views. The beginning, here's how it works, or how it did work. It don't work that way now, but that's how it did work. The beginning of the play, the first couple of parts of the playthrough got a lot of views, and then towards the end, the only time in the middle is pretty much dead air, unless, or dead weight, unless he has some ridiculous fucking rage out that was at the end of one part bleeding into another, and then those two will probably catch some decent views, or would get clipped. And then, and then go on a detractor channel. Outside of that, the whole middle of that playthrough is pretty much dead weight. And that's why people, even to this day, find gems in there. You just got to look. And it's a lot of gout. It's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of negativity to go through. And Jesus Christ, mental gout might actually be a thing. It may actually be a thing. Holy shit.
The focus of my content when people made montages only showing me doing that and cutting out the other 95% of the content. That's when it looks like that's the focus of my content. Okay? So, someone sends me, oh, did you hear what Total Biscuit? Total Biscuit doesn't know me from a fucking Badger's asshole. He doesn't watch my videos. I don't watch his videos. Right? The only reason I've even been talking about him is things that he's publicly stated, right, about negativity on the internet, about getting attacked.
Well, I'll see if I can try to enlarge that for you.
About, you know, letting it get to you, about medical issues. For God's sake, I wished him well because he announced that he had cancer. How's that name dropping? What the fuck are you talking about? No, name dropping would be, oh, so I talked to
this
Total
piece
Biscuit.
of garbage put his name in the title. Just like he did with Robin Williams. Just like how he did with, what's the dude's name? Just like he did with Kobe Bryant, actually, now I think about it. Same thing he did with, damn. He does that with everybody, though. He does that with just about everybody who's relevant or who dies or some shit. I'm sorry, there's actually a couple of names that I'm thinking of right now, and it's just getting scrambled. Jesus, Phil. Talking about name dropping. He's right there in the title. Oh, Phil, you're such a piece of garbage. Such a piece of garbage.
The other day, and we were having this fun conversation on Twitter. When did I ever say shit like that? People don't even know what the fucking term name dropping means. That's how stupid they are. Okay? But I don't care if Total Biscuit doesn't know who I am or understand my content. I don't give a fuck. The fact that at the very end of his post he said, I find Kojima World Order to be hilarious, immediately shows that he has an incorrect frame of reference. That he doesn't watch my content, he's only watched the hate montages, and he thinks they're funny. Yeah, if you didn't know someone at all, if you never followed their content, if you didn't watch one of their over 30,000 videos on YouTube, the incredible body of work that they have created, and all you watched was one hate-filled montage that gave you misinformation, you'd probably think it was funny too. But I don't need to fucking know about it. If President Obama fucking tweeted yesterday, I saw this fucking, this is how you don't play Metal Gear Solid 3 and it's hilarious, I don't give a fuck what Obama says about me. Because it's all out of context. It's stupid fucking nonsense.
Sorry, Etika, that's one of the people I was thinking of. Amongst others, T. Carter, you know what I'm saying, Scott, all these people, Jesus Christ. At least T. Carter for sure. Fucking A, man. Just because they're dead doesn't mean they're not useful, right, Phil? Right, Phil? Right. Jesus Christ.
Need to be inundated with bullshit and white noise. So I already said it once, I'm going to say it finally. This is the last time I'm fucking saying it. I don't care if Jesus Christ comes out of the fucking sky and tells me that my content sucks. Don't tell me about it. Don't tweet me. Don't email me. Don't fucking come to my door. Don't fucking send me physical mail. Don't fucking make a giant sign and fucking, you know, fly a plane with the sign through the skyline. I don't care. I am here to continue to make entertaining content for you, period. That's
Wait,
it.
if you didn't care, then why did you have the situation with Alpha Omega Sen? I just thought about that. Because that was one of the last videos I did. Alpha Omega Sen was in 2016, my guy. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is May 20th of 2014. Well, this is when it was published, I should say. But it was definitely before the movie. Yeah, so it's right. So yeah, that's May 2014, my guy. You're talking all this nonsense now, but you go after Alpha Omega Sen 2 years later? Defiant sniff.
That's all I care about, and I think a fuse just blew. Great. That's not good. What just happened? That's plugged into here. Here.
Make sure you don't electrocute yourself there, Phil. This piece of shit right here. He said that people don't even know what name dropping is. You put him in the title. You put him in the title. Oh.
What the hell?
Wow.
Wow. Well, that was a first.
Sounds like a horny chipmunk. Jesus Christ.
Well, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you probably have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, because I think the video continued to record. Did it? I did. If you're watching this on Twitter, a fuse blew. A fuse actually tripped and screwed up the stream.
On Twitter? You mean Twitch? Whatever.
The stream completely died. And right now I'm working to get internet back on my PC. That was hilarious. So President Obama heard me. And he apparently had the NSA as well as the CIA trip my internet and completely turn off my stream. Wow. That is a first. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a first. That may be a first for anyone who's ever been doing stuff like this, that the fuse trips in the middle of me going off like that. Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. That was something else. Wow. So anyway, I'm back. The stream is back. That was great. No, people were saying it was Jesus. It was Jesus. Jesus switched the fuse off. That, I swear to you guys, that is the first time in the entire time that I've lived in this condo that a fuse has tripped. That is the first freaking time, dude. How did that happen? Wow. Wow. My God. All right. So anyway, I flipped the fuse switch. The fuse is not working, so we're good to go for now. Let's hope that after the weekend preview, I'll turn off this lamp and hopefully it won't blow the freaking fuse again. That was insane. That was just out of control. I've never seen that happen ever. Wow.
mature adult, but living on his own, doesn't know what or how to kind of take care of a blown fuse. Jesus, Phil, sheltered, man, fucking sheltered. I mean, you lived with your parents for like 20 plus years, man. Like, you never lived in a house with a blown fuse, and you never went with your father to get that worked out, or your mother. My parents could do both of it. Damn, dude. All right, man. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have kids, or who will eventually have kids, spend time with them, please. Don't end up like this ass clown. Teach them things. They're gonna need it one day. Can't pay everybody to do everything.
All right. So just to end this, and then we will end the pre-stream. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what ridiculous misinformed thing Joe Splamoni said about me, or whether he's a known dude or not. I don't care. I make content. It's entertaining. People watch. We all make out, right? There's no reason, absolutely no reason to inundate me with the bullshit and the negativity. I don't care. I don't name drop people. You guys know that. I'm all about myself.
Hold up. Like I said, let me see if I can blow that back up for you guys. Look how LD brought the music right back on. He was like, oh. Let's not let the bitch fest go to waste. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Holy crap. All right.
Own content. I don't care about it. I don't care if someone hates me. I don't care if they don't get me. I don't give a fuck. I've been here since 2008 and I'm not fucking going anywhere. That's the bottom line. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still making good money. I'm still able to move across the country. I'm still able to do what I do on a daily basis and enjoy it. Very shortly with this move, there's great new content coming your way. Hopefully I'm going to be able to improve the way that I do my content. There's going to be crazy amounts of fun new vlogs coming, things I've never been able to do before, new series that I've wanted to do. Why the fuck do I care that one person is misinformed and just because they have a presence said something on the internet? I don't give a fuck.
That's a direct contradiction with that whole Alpha Omega Sin thing. Holy shit. That's a direct contradiction. Woo, boy. Shit about to get fun tonight.
I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because someone doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? I'm not going to stop. Nothing's going to make me stop, okay? So that is it for the pre-stream. I told you it was going to be a crazy pre-stream. Did I expect the fucking fuse to pop? No. I didn't think it was going to be that crazy, but that was insane. Okay, that is it for the pre-stream. I will end it.
We could do like Bad Boy. Oh shit, like let's see, Can't Stop Snorting, Won't Stop Snorting, or Gout Boy. Oh man, that'd have been amazing. Gout Boy, Gout Boy, can't stop snorting, won't stop snorting. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, Phil, boy, there was so much potential for early detractors, man, to rip you to shit. God damn.
And then we will start the official weekend preview, and then we're gonna have some MLB fun tonight, everyone. All right, very nice.
Wow. Wow. That was good. I'm actually pleased with that. That was good. Jesus Christ, Phil. Oh my God. Contradicting yourself within years, bruh. Oh my God. Oh well. Whatever it is to sell people on the dream, right? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, give me a second to straighten up, and we will reconvene for final thoughts, and I will let you guys go upon your way. And I wish you well as you guys do it. See you guys in just a second. Gout Boy, Gout Boy, can't stop, won't stop. Snort, snort. Oh, that's so good.
Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But you know, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike. I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you act on no problem, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that isn't comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit cause I'm rapping with phonics. Loose off of Jen Ricky's, perusing Sin City, riding my Schwinn smooth like the swing of Ken Griffey. And the felt of the velvet, I said hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shellfish. Don't tell me I need a haircut. You can't walk a mile in my shoes cause I'm barefoot. Bob's taking the toke, God's making the joke. With a Mickey Mantle rookie card close pinned to my spoke. I'm partying with the dead like Dia de los Muertos. People look at me funny cause I'm a scarecrow, but I don't care, bro, I'm snacking.
Oh my god, sorry, I needed an extra minute. I need an extra minute with that one. Holy shit. That's crazy. Now here's the thing. I'm looking at my my list here, right? And the last video I did was name dropping and rage quits and an apology, i.e. Alpha Omega Sin. That was the last video I did. So that would have been the last video you guys, some of you guys may have seen. And that was from February 19th of 2016, King of Hate Vlogs. This right here is from May 20th of 2014. You ain't sat there and ranted about all that bullshit about being positive and people don't understand the King of Hate moniker, and why the fuck would you give a shit about anybody online who has some prominence that would go ahead and name drop you, that you don't give a shit, excuse me, and yet look at how you end up acting less than 2 years later. Jesus Christ. And then, as LD had put on there, you were sitting there boasting and talking about how good life's gonna be and how your situation is different from other people's situations, so you don't need the El Cheapo shit. And yet, you're a fucking clown. You're a fucking clown for that. And then you're sitting there saying, oh, I got my BMW. I've had it for 2.5 years and I only have 6,000 miles on it, but the dealership said that my upkeep on it was great. Bitch, you never changed the oil on that shit? Oh my god, that guy was fucking delusional. He was delusional, ladies and gentlemen. He should have stayed his ass on the East Coast. He really should have. He should have gone to Florida or something. You know what I'm saying? He should have gone to Florida or some shit. Like, he's a fucking clown. He's a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ, what an idiot. Just out there, dude. Like, none of that shit that he said made any real sense when you think about it in context. You guys can watch it over, though, and make of that what you will, but that was wild. That was fucking wild. Had a great time, though. Alright, big ups to LD. Like I said, the link to his video will be down in the description. The Unhealthy Lifestyles. The Unhealthy Lifestyle, I think is what it's called. It's basically a compilation of DSP tries that LD did. It's like 14 of them, I think. I'll be going over those here, too, so look out for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the GOUT Report, and this is DSP News 2nd edition. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Later, people. Oh, shit.
I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you act on no problem, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that isn't comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit cause I'm rapping with phonics. Loose off of Jen Ricky's, perusing Sin City, riding my Schwinn smooth like the swing of Ken Griffey. And the felt of the velvet, I said hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shellfish. Don't tell me I need a haircut. You can't walk a mile in my shoes cause I'm barefoot. Bob's taking the toke, God's making the joke. With a Mickey Mantle rookie card close pinned to my spoke. I'm partying with the dead like Dia de los Muertos. People look at me funny cause I'm a scarecrow, but I don't care, bro, I'm snacking on apricots. I need my space like an astronaut.